World, this is Trooper Joe with Archangel of Return to Chivalry, coming to you today live on Facebook. That's right. And we're coming to you from 7 Ave Radio. So .com is how you can turn it on. Tune in, 7averadio.com, and you listen to Archangel, our Return to Chivalry. And that was Tina Turner singing about love. What's love got to do with it? That's what we're going to try to talk about a little bit today, because I'm not going to say that I'm the master of love and I understand all these kinds of nuances that seem to be generating around love. But I do have my own kind of specific ideas about love and how we seem to be getting away from love in all regards. Yeah, this is what I'm going to try to talk about today. And I say the word try because you're going to have to bear with me, because again, I'm not the best in this field of love. So, but in the Bible, that's that black book. Sometimes it's brown, sometimes it's other color. It's in the Bible. It says, "Love thy neighbor as thyself." You know, 6 little words. Depending upon if you split up thyself, you know, it's right there. Love thy neighbor as thyself. And these words are powerful, and they're powerful in a lot of different ways. Here's a problem that comes from that. The problem is, what is the measure we use to love ourselves? You know, how do we say, yeah, I love myself? We can say that all we want to. Yeah, I love myself, you know, and start kissing on your hands and arms and stuff. Do any kind of foolish thing that you want to do, loving yourself, and that's quite all right. You know, but in a world, today's world, we call for justification. So we even ask and call for our own selves to justify loving ourselves. Now, how am I going to justify that I love myself to everybody else? You know, it's kind of foolish, because it gets a little bit complicated later on. But that's what we do in this world. We want everything to be justified, and so that nobody can say, "Hey, I'm loving myself," but you're not really loving yourself. How can you love yourself? You know? But it's all right to know that you are special. This is where it comes in. You know. To love yourself, you got to believe in yourself, and you got to believe yourself that you're special. And that's the biggest thing. And special in many things, special in skills. This is the measure that you can use. Everybody's got some skills that they really enjoy doing. And I'm calling them skills. You can call them anything you want to. You can call them habits. You can call them whatever you want to. I don't even know. I'm just going to call them skills. You might have skills in cooking. You might have skills in computer. You may have skills in art. You may have skills in physical fitness and physical awareness. You may have writing skills. Anything may be a skill or habit to you. And to use these abilities and skill is required to fully love oneself. That's the measure. You love, oh, I really love myself. And part of myself that I really love the most is when I'm cooking. I really feel good when I'm cooking. I really feel good when I'm taking apart the brand new computer that my father and mother just paid all this money for. You know, I don't feel so good when they come home and I haven't put it back together and they put leather to my behind. But while I was taking it apart, I was feeling real good and love myself. But that's it. These are skills. And remember, there are no degrees to skills. Skills don't come with degrees. And like I say, you can call them what I'm calling skills habits. There's no degree to it. There's no real, well, you only cook hot dogs and hamburgers. Well, you're a fry cook. Or you only cook French gourmet style mussels. Well, you're a French gourmet mussel style cook, you know, or whatever it is. You only cook Chinese food. You only cook Tibetan food. it whatever it is, you know, there's no degrees to it. You only, in an art and picture photography, you only take pictures of birds or trees or this. So that's a skill. Those are the things that make you feel nice when you're doing this. A lot of people feel really good when they're out there in the woods or in the wild, and all the extrinsic things that go along with this here. Taking pictures of empty beehives or whatever it is that makes them feel good. And they take beautiful pictures because they're enjoying it, and they put a lot of love into it because this is something that makes them feel good. So this is where the love thyself is. But you must remember that it doesn't come with degrees. It only comes with love. Right? So that's something that you enjoy. You know, the things you have names as a skill. Those are things you enjoy. But remember too, it's okay now not to want to follow in the way that everybody says that you have to do something. That's okay. So it's all right not to follow people around and engage in the things that make you feel good, and then you become uneasy. So if you're a photographer and you like taking pictures of just animals, but you go and, you know, you say, I really want to, you know, learn a whole lot more about this photography and stuff, that's all right. So you join a photography type of club. But your passion and your skill set is in taking still pictures of animals. But in this club, they only take black and white pictures of structures. But you don't, it doesn't move you to take black and white pictures of structures. So it's all right not to be part of that club. You don't have to be part of that club. Even though they're going to say, well, this is not, you're now part of this family and all this stuff, and they're going to give you all kinds of what you would perceive as love, and you would think that you're giving back and doing what is in the Bible, loving thy neighbor, because you're being nice to them. But actually, you're not loving yourself. So how can you be nice and be loving them? Because what you're doing is something that would be against what it is that your skill set is. You can take the picture of a bridge, but you'd rather take a picture of a bird. You know? So it's all right not to engage in someone else's skill set, even though it closely resembles yours. And that's important, you know. That's important for all facets of life. You don't have to do or be anything in this world other than who you are. And who you are is how you measure how much you love yourself. You know? So if you go off and you try to be somebody else just to impress somebody else or just to be part of something else, then you're not being true to yourself. So the love isn't there. There is no love within yourself, because sooner or later you're going to get bored, and then you're going to be like, I'm not doing this. And that boredom that you're going to feel might even take away the whole joy of photography altogether. So you wouldn't be even taking the pictures that you really enjoy doing, you know, of the little furry animals or the feathered animals or the birds or whatever it is that you like to do. Because when you're back by yourself, you know, this is when you really start to reflect on yourself and your love. When you're home alone, not even alone, by yourself, you're in the bathroom, you pass by a mirror, you look in the mirror and you see you in the mirror. You know, and when you're looking in the mirror and see you see a lot more than that physical reflection that's coming back. And when you're looking in that mirror and you see you, a lot of people, they may not talk out loud, but they may talk within themselves, and they start to reflect on what it is that really makes them feel good. Now, if you went off and started taking pictures of structures and you didn't like that, you like the photography, you like setting the camera and doing all the shutters and all that, but you didn't like taking the pictures of photography. It wasn't good for you. So in that moment when you're going back in the bathroom and you look in that mirror and you see yourself, you're going to feel bad about yourself. You're going to stop feeling terrible about yourself, because you actually went against the love for yourself that you're trying to generate. You know? True, you may have even been a little bit close to to loving thy neighbor, but you'd have been there being nice and jolly and having a good time with all those people that's in this photography club of structure taking, and they would be all happy, and you'd be nice shaking their hands and all these kind of things that go along. But that's not you. You would have been phony to yourself. You would have lost yourself in that transaction. And you would have reflected on that loss of yourself when you passed that mirror in the bathroom. And that was going to make you feel bad about yourself. So don't do that. Don't do that. This is love thyself. That's what this is. And then remember, it's okay. And like we did about a few months ago, it takes courage to love thyself. Just like the lion in the Wizard of Oz, courage. It takes a lot of courage to stand alone in this world, simply because you want to do that one thing that's special and that skill that makes you feel good. That takes courage. And I feel a lot of people lose that special feeling they have for that special something, simply because they lack the courage just to go ahead and be that one individual all by yourself, enjoying yourself, loving yourself, taking pictures of little furry birds or little furry animals or whatever it is that's out there, And this is important, because you say, like I said, you join the club of the structure club, and that's not a good thing. But it's all right. It's all right. So you get joy from doing the skill you have named for yourself. See, that's the whole thing. When you're doing that thing that you said, no one else said this. You said it. You said it right in that mirror. I like taking pictures of animals. You said it. That's what gives you joy. And when you take that joy and doing it for yourself, that's when it becomes powerful. And that's when you're able to really be yourself and really truly loving yourself. Now, how do you love your neighbor if you can't love yourself? Right? There are many ways to achieve this goal. One, you can have like-minded people around you all the time. That you only refer to as neighbor. That's one way of loving thy neighbor. You can say, well, I'll surround myself with people that are just like me, and then I'll be loving my neighbor. All right. And then two, you can love yourself and not share it, not share it your skill, or your habit that you have that gives you joy with any other people. You can do that too. That's another thing. So, and three, you can see people just as people. Yeah, different than you, but with all the needs that you have. You can do that. Yeah. And four, you can learn to love yourself in many different ways. All right. Now let's start looking at these here. Yeah. First, I think I want to play a little James Brown for you just for a minute. Play a little James Brown for me, just to spruce it up. Because talking about love sometimes is, for me, it's a hard topic to talk about, So let's spruce it up a little bit with the Jimmy Brown. Come on, James, let's give it some so that we can do this here. Are we good? That part, they don't know the words. They just know da 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 da. Yeah, they can sing that. So what we were looking at here is, how do you love your neighbor if you can't love yourself? And I put out 4 things for you. Like-minded people. I put out, you can love yourself and not share your skills with others. You can see people as people, and you can learn to love yourself in many different ways. Okay, let's look at number 1 here. Like-minded people, right? So when you just surround yourself with like-minded people only, you have no variety. Without variety, you really can't love yourself. You may have surrounded yourself with a bunch of people who have the same, what I'm calling skill or habit, like you did. I'm going to stay with the photography, that like taking pictures of the little furry animals, but that might be as far as that love goes. So when you're in that moment of just taking pictures with them, well, naturally everybody's feeling good and everybody's having a light kind of conversation about did you see that little furry animal? How about that? Ooh, look at the size of that one. I'm getting a picture of that animal right there. So it's alright and it's good, but it's limited because there's no variety. Right? There's no variety. What are you going to do after you finish taking the pictures? Y'all look at all the pictures and show how good you took a picture, and you try to compliment them on how well they took a picture, and everything goes back and forth. But then you don't go out to get anything to eat because y'all got different tastes, so and that's okay too. That's where chivalrous type of thing come in. Okay, we'll go get this nasty tasting food over here that I really don't care nothing about just because you like it. That would be a chivalrous way of addressing that situation. Or you could say, well, how come you don't come and have some of this good tasting food that I like over here, because I like it. So I mean, without variety in the way you interact with people and just surrounding yourself with just the one skill set that you guys have, eventually it's going to wane. It's not sustainable. Even though you're going to have fun in that moment, you might come back, but it'll start to drop off. You won't really want to just hang around with those people all the time, because it'll get boring for yourself. Because you become like white bread, dull and unappealing, because there's nothing else there. Everybody's not going to be enthused and heightened by you just taking pictures of little furry animals. So, like-minded people, like I said, although they're great to be around, but you can only have them so much. It's like white bread. You can only eat white bread so many times, and then after a while, like, I need some different kind of bread here. I'm going to get some of this other bread, because there's lots of bread out there, lots of variety. Okay? Now, number 2, you can not share your skill. You can love others and not share. Just the reverse of surrounding yourself with like-minded people. You could surround yourself with people that have all kinds of eclectic type of habits and stuff that you want to investigate. That's what I would think that's more in line with. You're truly you're not loving yourself, because you're not really engaging in that skill that you enjoy. You're investigating somebody else's skill. And that's okay too, but it's not giving you that complete joy that you're looking for. It's giving you a very peripheral look at other people's lives and stuff. And if that's your skill set, if that's the habit that you like looking at cultures, you like looking at different people's behaviors, you enjoy watching faces, whatever that might be, then that would be a skill. That would be your habit, but you'd be sharing that then. So in this number 2, you're not sharing your skill. You're just going along for the ride. You're a herd animal. Or just standing in the back, just slowly trotting down the street like an old horse. Just one foot then the other, and you're just weaving back and forth from side. Who was that? That EU or that
Eeyore.
Eeyore. Thanks, Will. Will's there for 5 o'clock shadow on average. Yeah, you be Eeyore, just going along. Big smile, but just going along. But don't let any mirrors get near you, because then you're going to start asking that question. Why am I doing this? I'm not having any fun. There's no joy in this for me. So, why am I doing it? Why don't I just go take my pictures of my furry animals, because that really makes me feel good. So why don't I get on out there and take care of those things that I really want to do. And that's number 2. Now number 3, you can see people just as people, and that's okay. That's kind of like a reflection of number 2 too. But when you see them, only you focus them out and see them as people with the same needs and things that you have, and you're not happy, you know, because you're not having the joy of taking the little furry animal. You're just seeing the people as people. So what are you going to start focusing on when you're looking at these people? The negatives. You're going to try to change these people. You're not going to want to. You're going to want to see them as people, and they have the same needs that I have. But what's the need that has been moved to the front of the line at that time, right? The need that's been moved to the front of the line is the joy that you feel by doing the skill or the habit, whatever you want to call it, that makes you feel good. But you're not doing it because you're simply seeing the people as people. So you're going to see them as people that are unhappy, like you become, you know, because you're not really engaging in the skill that makes you happy. I mean, it's hard to be happy and love yourself and then love your neighbor. This is not an easy thing to do, because what I'm saying is there's just so many different ways of not being happy and then turning it around on somebody else, you know. So seeing people's joy is one thing, but their joy cannot be transferred to you. So when you're looking at people and you're seeing people and you're seeing their joyous thing, but you don't have any you don't want to go take pictures of the structures and stuff. So, but you see these people as people, but they're happy and they're joyful and everything, but you're not, because you want to take pictures of furry animals. So their joy can't be transferred onto your being. See? So it's kind of hard to see people as people. But it's important to see people as people, because that's all they are. Ain't nothing more than that. They're just people. They got the same needs and the same kind of things that you need. You know, they need shelter, they need food, they need clothes, except if they're at Hampton Beach in New Hampshire. They don't need no tops. They just, and that was from Voice of the Voiceless yesterday. Now number 4, alright? We're down in number 4. You can learn to love yourself in many other ways. See, I was saving that for a while. You're not restricted just to have one skill and one habit. You may have one special skill and one special habit of taking a furry animal. But then again, you may also like to do planting and grow things, and this makes you feel good. Or you might like to paint. Painting makes you feel good. You might like to do martial arts and get in there and do ultimate fighting. Ultimate fighting makes you feel good. There's a lot of things that can make you feel good in this world. And if you start to expand your horizons and take on a couple more things that make you feel good, they become those skills that you get great joy with. And you approach them with the same kind of zeal and the same kind of speed that you're approaching taking pictures of little furry animals. Now you broadened your field of loving thy neighbor. You can actually love a whole lot more people, because you'll have more in common with people, or it's just the other way around. People have more in common with you. So this is the one I think is the powerful one. If you broaden your horizons and you learn You learn to love yourself in many, many different ways. And there's no reason why you can't. We're all put on this earth. We ain't put on this earth in little categories. Put on little glass cups. Okay, you're a photographer. You're a cook. You can grow beets. You can grow corn. But you can't grow anything. You got to go to jail. You the jail people. You know, that ain't how it works. You know, we put on this earth with our eyes wide, and we were given that one special ingredient from God. I'm gonna call it an ingredient. I call things whatever I want to anyway. I don't. So, but it's choice. You put on this world to have choice, and with choice, you can do many different things. You're not limited in choice, even though choice sounds like a one subject word. No, you can choose to do anything you want to do. There are restrictions, though. I ain't going into that. There are restrictions. You can't go around saying that I get great joy out of killing people. I know there's people out there that like that. You can't do that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You can't do that. Not even one time. It's just not allowable. Change your habit. Change that thing that makes you feel good, you know. Go around hugging people. That you can get a whole lot of joy out of that. You know, but that's the key right there. Learn to love yourself in many different other ways. Accept all that's out there. And this world is full of things that's out there right now. And that's good. That's a good thing. So you can be an artist, you can be a musician, you can play basketball, you can run, you can jump, you can debate, you can just love learning, you can take pictures of little furry animals, and you can learn to love taking pictures of structures. And the best thing about all those things like that, you don't even have to do them if you don't want to. There ain't nothing wrong. You can learn to be the grumpiest person in the world and sit in an old moldy stinked up chair and smoke cigarettes till the ashtrays overflow and sit around and just drink beer and wear the same t-shirt for the last 80 years. You can do that. Nothing wrong with that. If that's the skill set you have. Slothfulness, I guess, is what you call that in the Bible. You can do all those type of things too. I would say, you know, turn you on, go ahead, but don't do that. So anything can give you joy, and if you give all things equal amount of energy, then you got a whole lot of joy out there. See, anything can be skills. You can get joy out of everything. Look at all the amount of joy that you're going to get by having all kinds of eclectic things to do. You're going to be so happy you won't know what to do. You go buy a mirror and you won't be looking in that mirror asking. You just be busted out laughing at all the joy and wonderfulness you're having with yourself and with other people. It's going to be great. You'll be seeking out mirrors. You'll be walking by department stores looking in the glass. You're going to be so happy just to get that feedback from all that joy that's just given at you. So that's what one thing I was talking about there. So with all this love and joy and everything, right? What are the benefits of loving thy neighbor as thyself? And how do we do it? Right? How do we do that? This is important. The benefits, they come from the privilege one receives from being able to not only love somebody else, but also to be doing a whole lot of other things, right? So you get it's a privilege to engage in somebody else's joy, right? They don't have to let you in. You don't have to go in there. You don't have to let them in. But it's a privilege if somebody says to you, okay, yeah, you can be we can go out there and take pictures of the furry little animals and stuff, and oh, look at that bridge, look at that old wooden bridge, and they're snapping pictures of the wooden structure, and you're snapping pictures of the little furry animals that's trying to get across that structure. You both on, look at where you're going, you fall in the river and drown. No, you don't drown. you just keep on having all that joy. And even if you fall in the river, you're just having so much fun, it's okay. It's okay. But that's how you can do these things. That's the benefit, that's the privilege that's going to come from just being able to enjoy life with other people. And enjoy their, like I say, you enjoy their skill set and they enjoy your skill set. And you can learn from that, but there's no need to learn. You don't have to learn about what shutter speed to use to take a picture of the bridge. You don't care. Your joy comes from what shutter speed do I have to take a picture of this little furry animal who's just twitching a little bit. You want to get it just at the right twitch. So you don't, I'm sure there's all kinds of different little techniques and stuff on both those things. But you don't have to learn. You're just getting the privilege of sharing time with that person. And that's a powerful thing. That's very powerful. Now think how it feels to have people see you as the nastiest individual, right? That's what happens when you just limit yourself and you're not loving people. You don't love thy neighbor as yourself.